Let's talk about things that go bump in the night. Those mysterious sounds and fleeting shadows that make us wonder if we're truly alone when darkness falls. For centuries, people have whispered about creatures that prowl just beyond the reach of our campfires and porch lights, their stories passed down from generation to generation. These are the creatures that haunt the edges of our reality, blurring the line between myth and truth. They're the reason we sometimes hurry our steps when walking alone at night, or glance nervously over our shoulders in the woods. We all know Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, icons of the unknown, whose legends have inspired countless books, movies, and late-night debates. Their stories are woven into the fabric of pop culture, sparking curiosity and skepticism in equal measure. But what if I told you there's another legend lurking much closer to home? A creature not from the remote forests of the Pacific Northwest or the misty lochs of Scotland, but from the heartland of America itself. Meet the Dogman, a bipedal wolf-like cryptid that's been terrifying the American Midwest for decades. Described as standing over 6 feet tall, covered in shaggy fur, and possessing a chilling, almost human intelligence in its eyes, the Dogman is said to walk upright, leaving behind massive paw prints and a trail of fear. This isn't just a campfire story, it's a modern legend, fueled by real encounters from ordinary people, farmers, truck drivers, and families who never expected to become part of a mystery. Their stories have been collected in local newspapers, radio shows, and even police reports, each one adding another layer to the legend. Picture this. You're driving a rural Wisconsin road at night, the world outside your car reduced to shadows and the narrow beam of your headlights. The air is thick with fog and every tree seems to hide a secret. Suddenly, a tall, fur-covered figure with glowing eyes crosses your path, standing on 2 legs, moving with a strange, unnatural grace. For a moment, time stands still, and you're left questioning what you just saw. That's the Beast of Bray Road, a creature reported by farmers, business owners, and even law enforcement officers. The sightings aren't limited to one wild tale. They span decades, with new reports surfacing every few years, each one eerily similar to the last. These aren't attention seekers or thrill chasers, their stories are eerily consistent, painting a picture of something that defies easy explanation. Many witnesses are reluctant to come forward, fearing ridicule, but the details they share, down to the creature's movements and the terror they felt, are strikingly alike. Is it a misidentified animal, a mass hallucination, or something truly unknown? Some suggest it's just a large wolf or a bear, while others believe it's a supernatural being, a relic from ancient folklore that refuses to fade away. Tonight we're heading down Bray Road to peel back the layers of this chilling mystery. We'll walk the same roads, visit the same fields, and try to see the world through the eyes of those who claim to have encountered the Dogman. We'll examine the eyewitness accounts, the history, and the patterns that have emerged over the years. What makes these stories so persistent, and why do they continue to capture our imagination? And we'll look at the science behind the legend, analyzing physical evidence, consulting experts, and exploring the psychological factors that might explain why so many people see the same thing. So grab your flashlight and your skepticism, because the journey into the heart of the Dogman legend starts now. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, there's something undeniably compelling about a mystery that refuses to be solved. Let's see what's really lurking in the shadows, and discover why the legend of the Dogman continues to haunt the American imagination. Every legend has roots, and the Dogmans go deep. Long before the 1980s, Native American stories spoke of shapeshifters, canine spirits that walked like men. These tales warned of powerful, mysterious forces in the wild. Fast forward to 1987, a Michigan DJ writes a song called "The Legend" as an April Fool's joke about a creature called the Dogman. The song struck a nerve. Listeners began calling in, claiming they'd seen the beast themselves. Was the song planting ideas or giving voice to real encounters people were already having? Either way, the Dogman was now part of Midwest folklore, ready to leap from rumor to reality. The stage was set for something extraordinary to happen, and that something would soon unfold on a quiet stretch of farmland in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. The legend was about to become real.
Things you only talk about at the back of the cave.
Welcome to Walworth County, Wisconsin, a place best known for its sprawling dairy farms, endless green pastures, and gently rolling hills that stretch as far as the eye can see. This is the heartland of America, where life moves at a slower pace and neighbors know each other by name. But beneath this peaceful rural surface, something extraordinary was about to unfold. Against all expectations, this quiet countryside would soon become the epicenter of a monster hunt that would capture imaginations far beyond Wisconsin's borders. The fields and forests here, usually home to deer and cattle, would become the stage for a cryptid mystery that would draw in skeptics and believers alike. At the heart of this unfolding legend lies Bray Road, a seemingly ordinary rural lane just outside the small town of Elkhorn. To most, it's just another country road, but to those who know the stories, it's ground zero for something unexplainable. In the late 1980s and early 90s, Bray Road's reputation changed forever. Residents began reporting chilling encounters with a mysterious creature, sightings that would soon become infamous. The stories spread quickly, whispered in school hallways and recounted in hushed tones at local diners. Local journalist Linda Godfrey was assigned to investigate what many thought was just a local legend or prank. Skeptical at first, Linda approached the story with a reporter's eye for detail. But as she interviewed more and more residents, she was struck by the consistency and sincerity of their accounts. Multiple credible witnesses, from farmers to school teachers, described seeing the same bizarre wolf-like creature. What made these sightings truly unique was their frequency and proximity. Dozens of encounters, all clustered within just a few miles of Bray Road, occurred over several years. The stories weren't isolated or fleeting, they formed a pattern that was hard to ignore. Witnesses described seeing the creature darting across lonely roads at night, crouched over roadkill, or even running alongside moving cars. Some described glowing eyes in the darkness, others heard unearthly howls echoing through the woods. The details varied, but the fear and awe in their voices did not. As word spread, Bray Road transformed into a destination for thrill-seekers, amateur cryptozoologists, and curious locals. Night after night, people gathered with flashlights and cameras, hoping to catch a glimpse of the legendary beast or find evidence of its existence. Unlike other cryptids like Bigfoot, the so-called Dogman of Bray Road seemed to have a specific territory. This gave researchers a rare opportunity, a defined area to investigate, to search for tracks, hair, or any sign that could prove the creature was more than just a myth. Almost overnight, the small town of Elkhorn found itself thrust into the national spotlight. No longer just a stop on the way to Wisconsin's cheese trails, Elkhorn became synonymous with one of America's most enduring cryptid mysteries. The legend of the Beast of Bray Road had found a home, and the hunt was on. Locals and outsiders alike were drawn into the mystery, each hoping to be the one to finally solve it. The Beast of Bray Road was no longer just a rumor whispered in the dark. It had become a living legend, and its story was only just beginning. Every legend needs a defining encounter, a moment that transforms whispers into something unforgettable. For the Beast of Bray Road, that moment came in 1989, when Lorinda Endrizzi experienced a night she would never forget. Her terrifying drive would become the cornerstone of Wisconsin's most chilling cryptid tale. It was late at night, the kind of night when the fog hangs thick and heavy, swallowing the world in silence. Lorinda was driving along Bray Road, her headlights barely piercing the dense mist. The countryside was eerily quiet, the only sound the hum of her engine and the occasional rustle of wind through the fields. Suddenly, her headlights caught something unusual, a crouched figure, motionless at the edge of the road. At first, Lorinda thought it might be a person in trouble, maybe a stranded motorist or a lost hiker. Concerned, she instinctively slowed down, her heart pounding as she tried to make sense of the shadowy shape ahead. But as she drew closer, it became clear that this was no ordinary person. The figure was massive, far larger than any human, and covered in thick dark fur. It was hunched over something on the ground, its movements deliberate and animalistic yet strangely intelligent. Then the creature slowly turned to face her. In the harsh glare of her headlights, Lorinda saw a wolf-like head with pointed ears, eyes that glowed with an unnatural light, and a muscular, almost man-like chest. The sight was so bizarre, so out of place, that for a moment she was frozen in disbelief. Without warning, the creature rose up on two powerful legs, towering above the roadside grass. In a blur of motion, it sprinted into the cornfields, moving with a speed and agility that no human or known animal could match. The stalks parted and swayed as it vanished into the darkness, leaving Lorinda alone and terrified. Shaken to her core, Lorinda slammed her foot on the gas and sped home, her mind racing with fear and confusion. She replayed the encounter over and over, struggling to comprehend what she had seen. The image of the beast haunted her long after she reached the safety of her house. Lorinda's detailed account quickly caught the attention of local journalist Linda Godfrey, who began investigating her claims. Godfrey's careful documentation and interviews brought Lorinda's story to the public, giving the legend of the Beast of Bray Road a new level of credibility and intrigue. Here was a respected local woman, someone known and trusted in her community, describing a creature that by all logic shouldn't exist. Her sincerity and the vividness of her account made it impossible to dismiss as a simple hoax or a trick of the light. Lorinda's story spread quickly, transforming vague rumors and campfire tales into a chilling, tangible mystery. The townsfolk whispered about the beast in diners and bars, their imaginations running wild with possibilities. Suddenly, the legend was no longer just a story. It was a real threat, lurking in the shadows of their own backyards. Thanks to Lorinda Indrizi's terrifying drive, the Beast of Bray Road now had a face, and a credible witness. The legend was alive, and the mystery had only just begun. So, what are people actually seeing? Eyewitnesses describe a creature 6 to 7 feet tall, standing upright like a man but with the head of a wolf or German shepherd. Its fur is dark and shaggy, its eyes glow yellow or red in headlights, and its chest and shoulders are broad, almost human. The arms are long, ending in clawed hands or paws. Most unsettling are its legs, digitigrade, like a dog's, allowing it to run on all fours or upright. Witnesses agree, it's not a bear, not a person in a suit, but something in between. A bipedal wolf with the build of a linebacker. The consistency of these details across unrelated witnesses is what keeps the legend alive. It's a biological anomaly, fascinating and deeply unsettling. The Dogman's appearance is as mysterious as its origins, and that's what makes it so terrifying. The Dogman's behavior is as puzzling as its looks. Witnesses report incredible speed, keeping pace with cars, then vanishing into the night. Strangely, it's rarely aggressive. Most encounters involve the creature observing, eating roadkill, or simply fleeing. Some speculate it's shy, avoiding humans unless cornered. But not all encounters are harmless. A few report livestock attacks, guttural howls, and claw marks left behind. Is it a misunderstood animal, or a predator defending its territory? The Dogman seems to straddle the line, curious, sometimes menacing, always elusive. Its dual nature only deepens the mystery. Is it a peaceful recluse or a lurking threat? The answer remains as shadowy as the creature itself. The enigma grows with every sighting. When Linda Godfrey's articles hit the press, Elkhorn was thrust into the spotlight. Reporters, TV crews, and monster hunters descended on the town, turning Bray Road into a cryptid hotspot. For witnesses, it was both vindication and a burden, finally believed but also scrutinized and sometimes ridiculed. The media frenzy sparked a surge in new reports, but also made it harder to separate fact from fiction. Shadows in the woods became possible Dogman sightings. Strange howls were no longer just coyotes. Despite the circus, the original credible accounts remained unexplained. These were the stories that gave the legend its foundation. The media storm faded, but the mystery endured. Elkhorn would forever be linked to the Beast of Bray Road. The questions lingered long after the cameras left. The Beast of Bray Road didn't stay a local secret for long. Linda Godfrey's books and the rise of the internet turned the Dogman into a global phenomenon. Online forums, podcasts, and viral videos connected Wisconsin's legend to similar sightings across North America. The term Dogman became a catch-all for bipedal canine cryptids, with reports from Michigan, Ohio, and beyond. Controversial evidence like the Gable film fueled debate, even as most was debunked. The Dogman joined Bigfoot and Mothman as a top-tier American cryptid. What started as a local mystery became modern folklore, spreading fear and fascination worldwide. The legend had gone viral. So what is the Dogman, really? Skeptics say it's misidentification, bears on hind legs, shadows, or overactive imaginations. But witnesses insist. What they saw was canine, not ursine, and moved in ways no bear could. Some suggest an undiscovered species of wolf, hidden in the wilds. Others believe it's supernatural, a shapeshifter, a spirit, or something from another dimension. None of these theories fully explain the consistency and detail of the sightings. The Dogman remains in the gray area between science and myth, and that's what keeps us searching. Decades later, the Dogman mystery endures. Sightings continue, not just in Wisconsin, but across the country. Why does this legend grip us so tightly? It's the collision of the familiar and the unknown, a wolf and a man, fused into something impossible. The Dogman taps into primal fears and ancient archetypes, but it's also a modern mystery, lurking just beyond the reach of science. In a world mapped and measured, it reminds us that some corners remain wild and unexplained. The idea that something unknown could still be out there is both thrilling and humbling. So next time you see glowing eyes in the dark, will you dismiss them? Or wonder what's really out there? The search continues, fueled by curiosity and the hope that some mysteries are real. All we have to do is keep looking.